don't care who you are, what your political beliefs, what your religious beliefs are, if you're, homophobic, transphobic, all the things. You can't watch this show and say, oh, those are bad people. They're doing horrible things. It's like, no, the thing about this show that's beautiful is the queer people are just like everybody else.
So how are you? How is everything?
It's morning here in Brooklyn.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, it's afternoon in Argentina. So, well, congratulations. First of all, I really love the show. And what I love the most about the show is the characters. They are so human, they feel so real, and they are so much fun. So I really wonder, what did you enjoy and what do you enjoy the most about playing each of your characters?
Well, I love Joel. I know that's dumb when an actor talks about the character in a third person, but
That sound weird.
I love him. I love playing him. I love his spirit. I love his hope. I love his kindness and warmth. I've spent so many years. I have this niche of playing sort of bitchy customer service representatives on sitcoms, and it just feels so great to play someone who is loving and warm. So that's my thing. I love playing that.
What about you guys?
Marie?
Tim?
Okay. The question is, what do I love about playing the character?
Yes.
I like that he's kind of somebody that's just on his own, climbing his own hill, his own mountain, and then in that second season, and then he meets Joel and is just kind of taken and falls in love, and it's a really fun thing to be there and to be looking into Jeff's eyes, and I don't know, it's really fun to play that role. And then I don't want to give too much away in the third season, but I feel like in the third season, what's kind of fun for me is I discovered that Brad has a lot of like suppressed feelings, and so a lot of that stuff comes out in weird ways in the third season, and so it's just the way that they write it. For me, it's always really interesting to play, and this group of actors is so honest and present that it's a real joy to play with them.
And how about you, Mary?
Well, Tim is also pleasant, so I want to say that he's a pleasant actor to work with. I like, from Fred, I like to, because I play very big in my stage act, like Bridget, we're both like, So, but at the same show, when we do our live comedy shows, we're also big, but we do connect with the audience, in an intimate way, but it's in a loud way. And then this show is, I get to play Fred, and I get to show the heart first and the warmth, and that he's a good friend to everybody. So it's like, to me, it flips the weight of a live performance versus a TV performance. So, and I think, this is just my theory, I think I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have the live show, 25 years experience, being on stage, being insane and wild, but trying to relate to every type of audience, whether I'm in Australia or London or California or Texas, or, because Texas is very different from New York, Lucia.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that skill of trying to relate to everybody, I think is what I honed in on to play Fred. So I was very happy to get that opportunity.
And it is true. I mean, as we said before, they are so relatable and well, human, as we were saying. And what I wonder is that, we are in 2024, and still we are not that used to seeing, queer representation and these types of stories in TV. So what do you think is so important for us to see more stories like this?
Well, I think it's important, the first and almost obvious answer is just to show that we exist. And I think, with the current climate in this country, which is a shit show for queer people and trans people, this show is kind of a fuck you to the current, right-wing vibe that's going on against queer people, is because you can't watch this show. I don't care who you are, what your political beliefs, what your religious beliefs are, if you're, homophobic, transphobic, all the things. You can't watch this show and say, oh, those are bad people. They're doing horrible things. It's like, no, the thing about this show that's beautiful is the queer people are just like everybody else. So we have the same pains, we have the same laughter, and this whole show is not like, I'm gay, I'm this. We're all friends, and we're all trying to deal with our problems equally. So to me, that is a very powerful way to approach queer representation as a slice of life. If that makes any sense at all, because I've only had one coffee.
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense.
Well, I appreciate you.
I'm talking a little bit about humor in the show, because I think it has such a great balance between humor and drama, and the three of you managed to balance that perfectly well. So sometimes I'm like laughing, and then I'm just like, okay, now I'm really touched. How did you manage to actually? I know the writing is a great element, but how did you manage to put this great tone of humor and drama in it? For anyone who wants to answer.
Well, I think the writers are great, and but they also have this great mandate for authenticity, where they say like everything you can say kind of whatever you want, but it has to really feel real. So it's like every once in a while you'll say something that you really improvised yourself that's really funny, but it feels too sitcom-y, and so that actually gets cut, and so you learn to really just feel like you're hanging out with your friends and really get that across. So like normally on a sitcom, you wouldn't laugh at a joke that someone said. You would wait for the laugh track maybe, but you wouldn't ever laugh at this really hilarious joke. And I think for me, it was learning like, oh yeah, my character can laugh. I can laugh at something that Sam said, or I can laugh when Brad did something cute or what have you. And I think that freedom that we can actually pretend like we're real, is
I heard that.
The thing that makes it feel authentic, that makes it feel real, yeah.
Great. Well, yeah.
I just want to say I had the advantage of I wasn't in the first season, so I got to watch it and I saw kind of the tone and the way that they were with each other. So when I stepped into it in season 2, I knew exactly how they, what they were, the tone that they were going for, and it was just very clear to me. And so it was, I don't know, it's a very honest kind of authentic set.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that because you step in, after the show starting and all, and how did you manage to? I mean, you saw it from the outside. How did you felt while watching it for the first time? In that sense, in that first season.
What did I feel when I first saw it?
Yeah.
I knew Bridget, and I'd seen her show, and I'd had, spent some time socially with her, and so I watched it, and I just fell in love with the characters, and I remember I was really moved by just the visual scene, seeing Murray's character with Mike's character, the Bridget's father and Murray's character, the way that they just were with each other, the way that they were. I don't know how to explain it, but I wasn't used to seeing that kind of relationship with a trans person. And I remember just being really moved by that. And then, the beauty of the friendship, because to me, what the story is really all about is the friendship between Jeff's character, Joel, and Sam, Bridget's character. And so for me, it was just, I loved the simplicity and the beauty and the slice of life kind of feel of it.
I completely agree. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. I really can't wait for season 3, and we'll hope to see you soon in another junket.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Gracias. Bye.